Hey, what's up? This is Nate Pierre back with another video. Sorry, it's been a little minute since I made a new one, but I've been kind of busy. And I've been trying to collect a little bit of information for this video. So I always try to get like facts together and stuff like that before I start putting out information. So this video today is going to be about the success of selling out. Because a lot of times us as black people, we have this thing where we always want to ask, why does somebody black have to be a sellout to be successful? Why can't they just have worked hard? And the answer is really simple. Because we don't control nothing. And so that's why. We don't have anything to make anybody of any other race have to bow down to us. We don't have stuff to hold over nobody's head to make them do stuff for us that they can do to us. We didn't start Hollywood. So the first thing I'm going to show y'all is just this book. You can order this book offline. I learned about this book from Professor Griff. He mentioned it one time I was watching one of his podcasts, and so I ordered the book. I might have paid like $5 for this book. The author is Neil Gabler, but you see what it says there: an empire of their own. How the Who started Hollywood. Now, nowhere on this cover does it say anything about anybody black, Asian, Hispanic, nothing. White. You see what it clearly says: how the Who started Hollywood, an empire of their own. So an empire of their own means that it's theirs. It's not black people's. So if black people want to get in it, you're going to do what you told or you're not going to be in it. And that's the bottom line. Because before black people even got in Hollywood, there was a guy, before the Harvey Weinsteins, before the P. Diddy's, Bill Cosby, whoever else. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's way more people than that that's been doing this stuff. Before any of these people, there was a guy particularly that's in this book that helped invent Hollywood, the owner of MGM, which is Metro Goldwyn Mayer, which his name is Louis B. Mayer. You can look him up, and it's all kind of documentaries on him. This dude was super ruthless. He made Weinstein and all them dudes look like chumps compared to the stuff that he used to do. And this is way back in the early 1900s. This ain't like right now in 2000. All the stuff that you're seeing now, whether it's the casting couch, the Oscars, whatever, was all created by Louis B. Mayer. The same stuff they accusing Puffy of doing or whoever are doing, Louis B. Mayer did it first. So that's why it's like that. It's just like if you want to join up with a fraternity, if you want to join up with sorority, you're going to get embarrassed. They're going to make you do stuff that you don't want nobody to know. There's going to be a lot of secrets behind closed doors. That gets the way it goes with this stuff. That's the Freemasons, whatever. You can't join up with the Freemasons. People that's in the Freemasons can't talk to you about it unless you're a member. So I'm just explaining all that because we always have all these questions. We wonder why. And like I said, I can explain to y'all why. Black people weren't nowhere in Hollywood, nowhere, when it first started. Now this dude, Mayer dude, when he was older, it is an incident where he put his hand up under, allegedly, I mean, I don't know how true it is, but I guess they was having something with Lena Horne, and he slipped his hand on her dress, and a bunch of stuff got started off that. And that was like, around, I guess, like the 40s, 50s or something like that. So maybe that's when black people started kind of like trickling into Hollywood. But at the same time, like I said, if you don't control anything and you don't run that business or whatever, you don't call no shots. Like I said, if you want to be down with that business and you want to be a part of it, you're going to pretty much do what you're told. Casting couches range anywhere from movies to porn. The porn casting couch is the same thing as Hollywood. All of these companies, the first 6 companies, which are Fox, Paramount, MGM, Orion, Warner Brothers, and there's one more. I always forget the last one. I don't know why. But all these companies are still around. Warner Brothers, all they've done is just made kids. So Warner Brothers went from making movies and they got into the music industry. That's why I say all this stuff is connected. Because all these record labels and all this are just the kids of these music, these studios, these Hollywood companies. They produced all these kids, which are labels, whether it's Universal, whether it's Def Jam, whether it's whatever. Warner Brothers has always had like records for a long time. Prince was signed to Warner Brothers Records. So I'm just saying all this stuff is connected. It's the same industry. If you have to do something to be in a movie, you're going to probably have to do the same kind of stuff to put out a hit record. Like this guy said, this Louis B. Mayer dude, he didn't even need you to have no talent. He just needed you to have a look and be photographic, and like they said, they'll take care of the rest. Which is why you see people nowadays that don't have no talent, and they'll just put them out, and they just force them on people, and people accept it. You know what I mean? This same tactic been working since 1920, 1933, 30, whatever. This same tactic been going on. You get what I'm saying? So I'm just trying to explain that to y'all. So when we get into people like the Diddy's and the Jay-Z's and the Tyler Perry's and all this different stuff, and y'all ask why these people will possibly have to sell out to be successful, because we don't control nothing, and they don't want us controlling nothing in no kind of aspect of creating generational wealth. Anybody knows that if you make enough movies or if you make enough music or whatever, and you actually get the actual money that you're due for that stuff, you'll be beyond rich. So they're not gonna give it to you. You know what I mean? They don't give you the rights to your publishing. They don't give you the rights to your music. They can, like, think about what I'm saying. I told y'all this before. It was like 40 black labels back in the 90s. Maybe like 30, I say. Maybe 40 is kind of exaggerating, but I'll say 30 at least. Don't nobody own them labels no more but white people. They said the guy that got Luke Skywalker's records basically befriended him to wait for him to lose his money so he can buy the company and take it from him. So that's what happens. So, like they said, this guy, this Louis B. Mayer dude, he would get you touched if you went against him. And they're not afraid to talk about it. How many people he done got touched? Whether it's females, males, you get out of line, you don't do what you told, you try to come out here and tell everybody or whatever, you might not make it to see tomorrow. That's just how Hollywood has always been. So when we get into all these little things about the sellouts or whatever, like I told y'all before, there's an alleged story that Jay-Z and Puffy went and told on Jay Prince, Dame Dash, Irv Gotti, and Suge Knight about him getting a black distribution label. So it's just like the same concept of slavery. When slaves would go tell on the slaves that was being disobedient or they wanted to run away, they would get rewarded. So it's the same thing. You wonder why 4 of them dudes all went down and these 2 went up. And that story makes sense to me of why that happened. I don't know how it doesn't make sense to anybody else. Y'all really think that these 4 dudes built these empires up and then all of a sudden just became stupid? But these 2 dudes who didn't even have no real empires of their own for real, because all them 2 labels, Bad Boy and Rockefeller, still had parent companies. Jay Prince don't have a parent company. No Limit didn't have a parent company. No Limit had a distribution deal. They had their, like, it was No Limit Records, and then P had a distribution deal for 15%. So only thing, that's why they say P had the best record deal ever, because he only had to give up 15% of his money to get it distributed to like the world or whatever. The rest of it was his. These other labels don't get no deals like that. If you under a parent company, you're not getting nowhere near that. Nowhere near it. You'll be happy if you'll be lucky to get 10% of that. So it does make sense. It's like I said, it's the same thing as a slave and the house nigga. It's like the house nigga got treated good. The slaves, the people in the industry that you see speaking out about the industry and talking about how bad the industry are don't usually get put on a pedestal. It's always the people that's going along with the stuff. That's anything. So I don't even know how y'all can't grasp this concept. It's just like if you go to work, I've literally worked places where females were having sex with the manager and they had to do what they wanted to do. And I've worked at multiple, I worked in a corporate office where this was happening. The boss that fired me, I think she might still work there. And that's why. Because these people be doing stuff behind closed doors that you don't understand and that you don't think they would be doing, but they do. It is what it is. It's not even like it's a secret with people. People know what's going on because people told me about it when I was there. And I started seeing it for myself. So what I'm saying is, like, y'all make it seem like just because it's the music industry that the same kind of, like, it's still human beings. It's still the same kind of stuff. It gets on a different level and there's more money involved in it, but it's the same kind of stuff. The people that kiss ass are going to always be on top of the people that ain't kissing ass. That's just how it is. Because most people that want to be worshipped and want power love ass kissers. People that stroke their egos. So it's not a hard concept to see why people was trying to sell out. You know, the funny thing about it is, like, The thing about selling out and doing stuff that other people aren't willing to do just to advance farther than them is because you set a bar then. You set a standard. So now what happens is that everybody behind you has to come in and do the same thing that you did because you decided to do it. It's just like when you watch the movie Hollywood Shuffle, which is genius at the time that it was out because it's really how Hollywood really is. And Keenan Ivory Wayans and Robert Townsend basically put this in our face and showed us. But people that, I know the young people haven't ever seen that movie, but the people that are older that have seen that movie, you remember when the part where Robert Townsend gets mad about, because everybody was clowning him about his role because it was like an exploitative role, but he wanted to be famous so bad. And he was working at the hot dog stand or whatever, so he wanted to be famous. And everybody was kind of clowning on him for that role. And when he finally was like, I'm not doing this, the dude stood up. Like the dude, earlier in the movie, he criticized Robert Townsend for doing the role and told him how he could never do the role. He could never be a Sambo, blase, blah, right? But then Robert Townsend gives the role up, and then dude jumps straight back on it. It's the same thing that made Dave Chappelle mad about Key and Peele. That's why he was mad, because he felt like I stood up for this, and now here y'all go. Now, didn't Dave Chappelle get criticized? And he was speaking out about them trying to make him put on dresses and this and that and the money that he was supposed to get. Didn't he go down? And didn't they go up? Now, he's back to being Dave Chappelle because Dave Chappelle has a loyal fan base. So it's hard. The only way they'll be able to get rid of Dave Chappelle, really, he's not really that big of a threat like that because he's a comedian and he's telling jokes. But the only way they can really get rid of him totally would be to kill him. So, yeah, don't let him operate. It's not like he's out here trying to start a revolution or nothing. You know what I mean? He's just telling the truth. He's saying jokes, but nobody's taking his jokes and saying, I'm about to go home and start a revolution with Dave Chappelle's jokes. So that's why I'm saying it's like, but I'm just giving y'all examples. It's like, if you read about Marcus Garvey and you read about W.E.B. Du Bois, they didn't like each other. But Marcus Garvey understood that W.E.B. Du Bois was working for the NAACP, which was started by David Rockefeller. So it's not even really a black organization. So while he's over here working for them, trying to be this black hero, this dude, Marcus Garvey, is really over here doing real work. He's getting black people health care. He's getting them on the stock market. He's building up all this stuff. He's making these boats so we can get the fuck up out of here. He's not in history as much as W.E.B. Du Bois is. A black dude went down there and helped sabotage the boats and sold him a bad boat when they was trying to buy the boats to leave. So I don't know why it's so hard for y'all to understand this stuff about people selling out, because it's been going on forever. Like, people don't want to be a black leader no more because they've watched what happened to them. And the thing about it is nobody went to go help none of these black leaders when it was time for them to meet their demise. Nobody tried to help these people. Like, you see these people with Trump. Trump gets shot, they putting on Band-Aids. I really believe that if they keep saying these assassination attempts, some of these folks gonna try to go out there and defend Trump. So that's what I'm saying. Like, we don't make they don't have sellouts on their side because they make examples out of them. So everybody else is like, oh, I don't want to do that because they done made an example out of him. I know what's gonna happen to him, so I'm not doing that. But with us, we don't make examples. You know what we do? We sit around like with people like Puffy, and we try to sit here and defend it now and say stupid shit like, oh, it's because he black and he was powerful. Okay. But Puffy also got karma, man. I ain't seen an artist that's been under Puffy, and Puffy has some heavy hitters. He's had some real stars, and I ain't seen not one of them come out and talk about how great he treated them. I watched him take a black man and make him be his butler. Kick him in his butt, treat him like trash, like a court jester. I watched Making the Band. He making people walk for cheesecakes, doing all this embarrassing stuff. My whole thing is that, okay, that might have been with stuff that you had to do, but if you didn't like doing that stuff in the industry, why would you make somebody else do it? See, that's the hypocrite stuff. I'm not about to sit up here and interfere in people's karma. Y'all want to sit here and defend people that have created this karma for themselves. It's like what parents, when I watch some of these parents from these gangs and different things on YouTube, and the parents are like, my son didn't deserve this. And you're supposed to say it as a parent. You're supposed to have that love for your child. But then they'll clip to the son and he up there throwing up gang signs. He done got 3 bodies, and it's like he's not supposed to get his karma back. Let me explain something to people. I don't care who you are on earth. The karma you give out is the karma that you get back. I don't care if it ain't came back yet. I don't care if you ain't noticed what kind of karma. Karma comes in different forms. Just because you gave it out a certain way don't mean you're going to get it back in the exact same way. Maybe you will. But regardless of however you feel about it, and how untouchable you think you are, and how sneaky you think you are, and how much you think you're getting away with whatever, I'm telling you, the universe does not miss nothing. You can come on the internet and you can trick people and you can do whatever you do. The universe sees everything. The universe got all of your receipts. So my whole thing is that these people don't have to act like this. Like I said, we were talking in the barbershop the other day, and like I tried to explain to the people in there, this is learned behavior. Like I said, this dude, Louis B. Mayer, was the grandfather of this shit. Casting couches. Like I said, they got, like, you just gotta look him up. It's hella stories and videos about this dude. And you can just see the ruthless shit that he would do. Like I said, you would literally come up missing. And it ain't no different. I done watched documentaries with this dude that was calling himself the Hollywood Enforcer. He was talking about literally putting people down for Hollywood to keep scandals out of the paper. That's why I try to explain to people, like, the Hollywood gangsters ain't the street gangsters. All these people know better. The ones that do speak out, you need to give them a big hand because they're really putting their life on the line to tell y'all this stuff. It's not like they just out here telling y'all this stuff and it's all good. Nobody want nobody to know this stuff. Some of this stuff be super secretive and they don't be want nobody to know about this stuff. Like I said, with Cat Williams, y'all seen the Cat Williams interview on Shannon Sharp. I knew Cat Williams was telling the truth back when he said it on the first DVD that he had out with this right here, nigga, this right here, that DVD, when he was talking about Professor Ogilvy. I knew he was telling the truth then because when the camera flipped to Andre 3000, he was with his date, but he was laughing way harder than his date because he done seen it. And that's why I be trying to tell people, man, quit just looking at the surface of stuff. Look at other people. When Richard Pryor was talking about on his roast, look up the Richard Pryor roast when he said that him and Paul Mooney had to go and have sex with a certain group of person to get into Hollywood. And it's funny at first because everybody just think it's jokes. But if he keep on going on, you can see everybody start getting real uncomfortable on that stage. The more he gets kept talking and talking and talking. That's why I respect Richard Pryor, because out of all these people that be doing all this stuff behind closed doors, at least he had the guts to say he did it. At least he admitted to it. You know what I'm saying? That's more I can say for most of these people. But I just wanted to just make this video because when y'all view success, sometimes y'all don't understand how this success comes. It's not all from hard working. It's not all from being so talented. It's people that ain't got no talent that have sold more or made more money than people that actually do. Like I said, there's no reason that Spike Lee, well, he's passed away now, John Singleton, but there's no reason that Spike Lee and them, the Hughes brothers, people like that made all these classic movies, and for some reason they couldn't make movies no more. But then Tyler Perry comes out of nowhere, and he got $1 billion studio, and now he the only person that can put movies out that's black. And y'all don't see nothing wrong with that? Like I said, the most time that they hire black people saved Hollywood with the blaxploitation films. But the whole thing about it is that they only really use black people in Hollywood to mislead and influence other black people. They don't really need black people in Hollywood. They do, because we bring a certain essence to stuff, and we've been allowed in, and you know what I mean? They do to a certain extent, but I'm just saying they don't need us like y'all think they need us. You know, and that's my whole thing. Like I said, with the alleged of them telling on the distribution label, my whole thing is that could have been our Hollywood. And if they would have did something to all 4 of these dudes, at least we would have got to see it with our own eyes and knew that's why they did it to them. But to just sit here and try to act like these 4 dudes who were rich too, lives don't matter, for 2 guys just to be on top is ridiculous to me. And I'm never going to ride with that. Sorry. Y'all can call me a hater. How am I a hater? First of all, Michael Jackson had more money than all these motherfuckers put together. And I've never had anything bad to say about Michael Jackson. I understood why they were saying all this stuff about him. So if I wasn't hating on Michael Jackson, I don't give a damn about somebody with $1 billion, because according to Dick Gregory, Michael Jackson had $80 billion worth of shit. So I don't care about nobody having no billion. Like I said, I think it's funny that y'all treat Kanye fucked up and he had $1 billion, but then y'all are trying to like go give these two dudes so much support. Oprah gets all this support. You know what I mean? She can't do no wrong. But there's people all over Earth, and that's what I mean by when y'all say haters. There's people over in Hawaii right now that hate Oprah's guts. Are they haters? Or did they lose all their shit and Oprah just happened to buy it all up? That's all I be trying to say. Everybody ain't no hater, bro. Some people just understand that somebody did something extra. Like I said, my whole thing is that if I was going to do for a movie and I'm better than somebody else, and you get the part because you let somebody sexually do something to you, I'm gonna be mad too. Sorry, I don't know what else to tell y'all, because I'm not trying to do all that. And that's what goes with a lot of people. Y'all think that everybody that y'all see in these movies or that's whatever over this whole time been the best of the best? No, they all ain't been the best of the best. Some of the best didn't want to do what required to be the best of the best in Hollywood, so they just didn't do it. But all these people ain't the best of the best. And that goes for sports or whatever. There's plenty of people out here that would have did way more than these people had they been given the chance. So like I said, when y'all calling people haters and y'all saying all this stuff, just keep in mind what I just showed y'all. Like I said, we don't run Hollywood. We don't run nothing, to be honest with you. If we want to be in anything of importance in this country, you're going to have to go to somebody else to get into it, and they're going to call the shots on you until you get your own. And that's just, I don't know what else to tell y'all. That just is what it is. So like I said, you know, when other celebrities start going down, some of y'all favorites, don't be mad, because they signed a deal with people who obviously ain't trying to keep the day bargain of the deal. And I don't know why they keep signing these deals, because when have they ever kept their bargain of the deal? I don't know nobody that sold out that went on to the promised land. Usually they wait till they get old, start breaking them down, and the next thing you know, these people wheels done got changed. They like I said, I'm still waiting on somebody to tell me all these black wealthy people that was famous, where their money went to. Because I ain't seen none of their kids and nobody from their family come up and say, well, they left us this, we made this, I don't see that. You telling me out of all these black celebrities, ain't nobody's family came back up? That's all I be trying to say, man. So like I said, I just wanted to make this video. I know it's kind of long and I've been rambling on, but I just want y'all to understand that when y'all ask these questions, why somebody gotta be a sellout? Because you don't run nothing. And if they tell you to come in here and pull your pants down and you can be a star tomorrow and you ain't got nothing else going on in your life, some of these people gonna do that. I mean, it is what it is. I've seen people do stuff for worse. For nothing. I see the crackhead flip off the top of an apartment, like a tall apartment building for $1, man. Like, you don't know what kind of stuff people would do for. If you gave that crackhead $10,000, he might have jumped off a bridge and killed himself trying to get that money. Like I said, everybody ain't for sale, but there's a lot of people that are.